Hello and welcome to the Film Pulse Podcast. This is episode number 484. My name is Adam Patterson. With me today, I've got Kevin Rakestraw. Hey, Kevin.
Hey, how's it going?
Going pretty well. How about yourself?
I'm also doing fine.
Great. This week on the show, we're going to be talking about Biosphere. We're also going to be going over some we're watching on the watch list and new releases in VOD, theaters, Blu-ray, all of that fun stuff. Thank you so much for tuning in this week. With that, I think that we can go ahead and jump straight into our review. We're talking about Biosphere, which is out now on VOD. I believe IFC has put this one out. It's directed by Mel Eslin. I have a synopsis here. In the not-too-distant future, the last two men on Earth must adapt and evolve to save humanity. Now, we were discussing what movies we wanted to, or what movie we wanted to review this week, and we had it narrowed down to two different ones, and I was like leaning towards this one because I was like, oh, well, I think it'll be easier to talk about this one. It seems like kind of a light sci-fi comedy. But after seeing it, I feel like it's almost impossible to talk about this movie because I think that you want to go into it completely cold, or at least it seems to me like the best solution for this movie would be to go in completely cold, because where it goes,
like this movie's pointless.
Yeah, like where it goes, you don't expect it, and it's pretty wild. So it's going to be really difficult to talk about this one without giving too much away. So maybe we can just start with maybe very general things, and then we'll tack on some spoiler discussion for this at the end of the show. So, well, Kevin, we'll start with you. What were your broad opinions about Biosphere?
Broad opinions, I would say this is one of those instances of really good idea for a short film, for a full length, and not so much.
Yeah.
And definitely not this full of a length.
Right, yeah. This is an hour and 46 minutes. I think that they could have easily trimmed off at least 15 minutes on the runtime here, because, like, I like spending
6 minutes.
Yeah. I like spending time with these guys, but I do agree with you that it's just a bit too much. Like they definitely could have trimmed it down a bit.
Oh yeah. Without a doubt. What are your broad opinions?
I think that the big thing is like where it goes. Like I didn't expect it before the kind of big reveal or whatever happens. I was just very much enjoying my time with these two guys. You know, what you have here is this is a very, very minimal movie, at least at first, where it's just two guys living in a biosphere. They're best friends, and they're just living their lives as the last two people on Earth. I liked that nothing was explicitly like mapped out. There wasn't like giant exposition dumps that revealed what happened. It was sort of all you learn everything sort of organically, like kind of piecemeal, which I liked. And I like the look of the biosphere. I thought it was cool looking. Where it goes, we'll have to get into it later. I don't know how I feel about where it goes. I'm like very, I don't know. Like I just don't know how I feel about it. It's interesting, for sure, but I guess maybe I wanted a little bit more exploration into that. But yeah, I don't know. It's a weird one.
Well, I'm happy for you. Glad you enjoyed yourself.
Well, I don't know. I don't know that I did. I like at first I was enjoying it, but there was something that just kind of I don't know if rubbed me the wrong way is not the right word, but I guess I just wasn't really sure about how I felt where it went.
Yeah. I I'm kind of right there with you, except for the fact that I wasn't enjoying myself before things developed, so to speak. I don't know. I just found this to be rather pointless exercise, especially just like visually speaking. There was just nothing here for me. It's that one room, essentially one room type chamber piece or whatever the fuck you want to call it, and there's just not interesting in any way, shape, or form to me. And then there's the development, which just kind of seemed to happen very quickly. And things kind of, for me, just went off the rails because they started getting into, not necessarily getting into it, but they kept like kind of brushing up against this, like the political aspects of this. And it just did nothing, none of that worked for me.
Yeah, I agree.
Just all way too broad. Just way too broad.
Yeah, completely agree with you there. Which it's a shame because like I felt like they had a really good dynamic, and I was just kind of when it started, like in the first act, I was just kind of settling into the idea of this just being a very kind of light sci-fi comedy involving these two best friends trying to manage this biosphere. And I was kind of thinking like, oh, there's going to be like different crises that happen like with the fish and stuff like that. And they're going to have to work together and deal with these different issues to survive. But where it goes is just completely unexpected. And it is kind of disappointing. It's, yeah. I think to continue, we're going to have to get into what actually happens. So I think we'll have to get into a little spoiler section here.
Yeah. I just also found like one of the other things is I guess the quote unquote sci-fi aspects of this, like the outside of the biosphere.
Or lack thereof.
Yeah, like it was nothing. Like every time that they would show like the windows, I'd just be like, I can't see anything. Like I don't know.
It's just black.
Am I supposed to be seeing something? Like there's like a green light, which I guess is interesting. But they just like even when they had like the weather phenomenon, I'm just like I don't see anything. Like I don't know what's happening.
Yeah. Yeah, overall, definitely a disappointing from the sci-fi angle. Not a lot going on here, sci-fi wise. All right. Well, before we get into, so we'll tack on the spoiler talk at the end of the show, and let's go ahead and give this a score right now. Kevin, what are you going to give Biosphere out of 10?
I'm going to give Biosphere like a 1.
Oof, a 1.
I did not, because honestly, outside of let's be honest here, outside of the spoiler territory, there's nothing to talk about, really.
No.
And then even the spoiler stuff, there's not a whole lot to talk about.
Yeah, it's getting a 3 for me. Definitely wanted more out of it. All right, let's take a look at what we've been watching. I think it's my turn this week.
Hit me.
Don't have much to talk about this week. I saw Evil Toons from 1992, directed by Fred Olen Ray. This is a little bit of a misleading movie here because you take a look at the cover and you're just like, oh man, there's like evil cartoons that are maybe killing people. According to the synopsis, 4 sexy young girls who are cleaning up an old house. There's like literally 2 scenes that have an evil cartoon in them. The rest of the time, what happens is the evil cartoon, which is like a werewolf, it just possesses a woman. This movie is absolute trash from beginning to end. David Carradine's in this for some reason, and this is totally just a paycheck for him. He was completely phoning this one in. Just awful dialogue, awful performances. The effects work, as it were, is just absolutely terrible. Most of the actors in this are I believe, like adult film actresses. So it's kind of garbage. Evil Toons. It is entertaining on like just a purely exploitative level, just to see how bad the exploitation is in this, because it is just so ridiculous. But I still can't really recommend Evil Toons.
That's a bummer. Evil fucking Toons.
Yeah.
Incredible. Like, as soon as I pulled that page up and saw that poster, Lord have mercy.
It's it's something else.
Which is just absolutely love the fact that you look at that poster and then you immediately go to the right to read the synopsis and it doesn't add up at all.
Nope.
Wait, it's four sexy ladies cleaning an old house? What?
Yeah, yeah.
That doesn't make any sense.
Nothing in this movie makes any sense.
Nor would you want it to.
Exactly.
That's on you if you're expecting it to make sense. You know what I mean? That's your fault.
Yep.
I watched a movie that didn't really make sense. Boom. The Scott Derrickson film. You know, this is kind of a ridiculous premise. And guess what? It worked for me. I bought in and I enjoyed it. Just that, you know, the time period. And the production design that went in for the time period. Like, it just works.
Yeah.
Like, it worked for me.
I loved this movie.
Yeah, I was really surprised how much I liked this. Because I just, kind of popped it on a whim. And within probably like 10 minutes, I was just like, wow, I am like really digging this.
I'm really into this. It's got really strong Stephen King vibes to me.
Yeah. And I don't know what it is. Derrickson is a bizarre filmmaker to me. He's such a all over the place kind of guy in some ways. I mean, I've seen 3 of his movies, but he just has such a good feel for the creepy, like old footage stuff, like what he did in Sinister and then what he does here. Like that stuff just always hits so perfectly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel like all of his movies just need to take place in in the past, 70s, 80s, maybe. Looks like he's actually. It looks like in the new VHS he has one a short in it. VHS 85. Didn't even know that was a thing. That's cool. All right, let's see. I saw Fandango.
Fandango?
Yeah, Fandango. This is this is from 1985. It's directed by Kevin Reynolds, and it's a sort of a coming of age story, I guess, about a group of friends. They just graduated college, and like 3 of them get drafted into Vietnam. And so they go out on one final kind of road trip to hang out together and party, have a good time before they, get sent off to war. And a couple of them are like kind of thinking about maybe heading down to Mexico to dodge the draft. And it stars Kevin Costner, early role for him, Judd Nelson, and some other people. This is great. It's really a pretty solid coming of age kind of comedy. It's like, I don't know, maybe a light comedy, dramedy perhaps. But I enjoyed it quite a bit. I wasn't a big fan. I don't like Kevin Costner, to be honest, and I didn't think he was particularly good in this. But Judd Nelson was really good in this. So yeah, I don't know. I give it a light recommend if you're looking for kind of a solid little road trip movie, just about a bunch of boys being dudes.
Kevin Costner just never made sense to me.
I don't get it, man. Like he's so bad in everything he's in.
He has like no charisma whatsoever. Like negative charisma.
Yeah, like he never has any personality ever.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't get it. He's so flat. I mean, it just has to be based on looks. Like, that's just gotta be, it's gotta be it, really.
It's gotta be. Has to be.
This is an Amblin film, actually. This is like one
Really?
of the earlier Amblin films.
Interesting. The only other thing that I watched is, wait for it, a Tubi original.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I'm listening.
full descent into Tubi mania over here. That's what it's happening. I watched She Came from the Woods from Eric Bloomquist, which I actually saw one of his other movies a couple years back, which was decent. That one was decent. I forget what the fuck it's called. Let me look it up real quick. It was called Long Lost. That was okay. It was a decent premise. This one is just a ripoff. You know, it's a camp counselors, summer camp, and there's some sort of demon spirit woman coming back to life because they do a ritual. She used to be the nurse at the camp years and years and years ago, and now she's come back and she wants to kill everybody. And a lot of this doesn't make a lick of sense, just like the logistics of it and how everything works, because she like possesses people and she's killing people, but it's just all over the place, like the mechanics of it, which, I mean, I don't really necessarily care that much, but the fact that it's just kind of a watered down version of all the other camp movies.
Mm-hmm.
It's just trying to like capture that. It didn't work for me. It's not terrible. Like when we started watching this, I got on Letterboxd and I saw everyone giving it like 1 star, and I was just like, oh shit, that's what I get for a Tubi original. Like, I am fucking in for it. But in all honesty, at the end of it, I'm like, okay, that wasn't terrible. Like, there's some good effects work and stuff here. There's some disgusting kills and stuff like that. So, I mean, I wouldn't recommend it, but also if you find yourself like, oh shit, I'm going to watch a Tubi original, it's better than Biosphere.
Oh, there you go.
I enjoyed it more than that.
Better than Biosphere. Check it out. She Came from the Woods. I don't have anything else. That's all I got.
Wow. Oh, I watched Jaws. You seen Jaws?
I have. Now this is one of your annual watches, right?
That's a tradition.
Yeah.
Jaws after cracking some crabs and drinking some high lifes. Guess what? Jaws still good.
Thanks for reporting that in to me.
It's just real fucking good. Just almost a perfect movie.
Yeah, I agree. I freaking love Jaws. I need to rewatch or watch the sequels. I want to get back to because I've seen. I don't know if I saw Jaws 4. How many of them are there? Is there 4 of them?
It's too many. I'm gonna say too many.
I think there's 4.
And I feel like we've had this discussion like the last 3 years, because I want to do the same, but for some reason Jaws for me is really like a July 4th thing. And then all the other, 364 days, I'm just like, I have no interest in Jaws.
Yeah. Yeah. I will say, yeah, there is 4 of them. I never saw the 4th one. I have to rectify that. Let's take a look at what we have in theaters this week. On July 12th, we have Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning, Part 1.
No. All right.
I'm pretty excited for this. I mean, like, the Mission Impossible movies, I like them all. There's not a single one. Like, the second one, the John Woo one, I was like, eh. But the rest of them, I think, are pretty great. And so I'm sure that this one will be fun. I don't get, like, really jazzed up over them, but I always have fun with them. So I might try to go see this one in the theater. On the 14th, we have Final Cut, which is the remake of the very popular Japanese film of this. Was it the same name? I don't think it was called Final Cut. It was called something else. But I loved it, and I don't think that it needed to be remade, and it's kind of bothering me that this one is being remade. It's being directed by Michelle Hazanavicius.
That's such a bizarre. Everything about this is bizarre. The fact that it's getting remade,
Mm-hmm.
the person that's remaking it,
Yeah.
the cast, like none of this makes sense.
It's it's kind of weird. I mean, like I'll check it out just because I was such a fan of the original. But you haven't seen the original one yet, have you? One Cut of the Dead.
No.
It's a must see.
I don't know. I feel like I've seen a movie where they were making a low budget movie.
I feel like you would remember.
I feel like I know, but I also feel like there's 27 Japanese films like that.
This one's different though. This one's not the same as the other ones. I think you would remember if you saw this one, because this one easily stands above the others. At any rate, yeah, maybe I'll check that out. I don't know. On VOD, I mean, I won't see it in the theater, to be clear. On VOD this week, let's see, we have, what are we starting with? July, we're starting with July 11th. We have God is a Bullet. We got...
Real?
Uh-huh.
No, it's not.
Well, I mean, according to the title of this movie, it is. I haven't seen the movie, so I can't tell you for sure. But I don't know. We'll have to report back on that. We have Ulam main dish. We got The Breach. I feel like I saw that. We have The Abode. The Startling Girl. Let's see. And then on the 14th, we have The Channel. We got The League. The Modelizer. Fourth Grade. The Flood. And it looks like that's about it on Netflix. I think we have one, and that's Bird Box Barcelona. Because I know that everyone was clamoring for more Bird Box.
So we got another Bird Box?
Yeah. That movie sucked. I'm sorry. That movie was kind of garbage. And they're doing I guess it's a sequel? I don't even know. Or maybe it just takes place in Barcelona and it's just a whole separate story. I don't know. I'm not going to bother with it. Blu-ray this week. Got Scream 6 coming out. Sisu, Shin Ultraman, Beau is Afraid, which I still haven't seen yet. I don't know why, but I just I was pretty excited for that, and then I just lost interest. One of those.
Yeah, I get that.
Invaders from Mars from 1953, coming out in 4K. Human Desire from 1954. McBain from 1991. Never saw that. I'm gonna have to add that to my list. Always wanted to see McBain. Looks like a bunch of Mission Impossible movies are getting re-released, of course. Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret. Ooh, White Noise and White Noise 2 double pack coming out. If you want to get your white noise fix in.
Oh.
That's pretty much it. What about Criterion's this week?
We got two. We got Scorsese's After Hours from 1985.
Love it.
And then The Watermelon Woman from 1996. Cheryl Dunye's Watermelon Woman.
Watermelon Woman, yeah. Talked about Watermelon Man just a couple weeks ago. Now we're looking at Watermelon Woman. So
pick them up.
Yeah, check those out. Cool. All right. I think that's going to be it for this week. Thank you so much for tuning in. You can send us your questions and topics to podcast@filmpulse.net. You can follow us on Twitter @filmpulse.net and @filmpulsekevin. If you have a minute, consider reviewing us on iTunes. It'd be great. For Kevin Rakestraw, my name's Adam Patterson. We'll see you next week. All right, let's talk about some Biosphere spoilers. So the big twist in this, and I would say you definitely want to go into this cold, because I feel like if you go into this movie knowing what it's actually about from the onset, you got nothing. Like, there is no reason to even watch this if you know what the big reveal is. So essentially what happens is they're eating fish. They have like a pond, and they're breeding and eating fish as their main source of, I guess, protein, or one of their main food sources. Well, the last female in the tank dies, and the one of the remaining males appears to be sick, and they discover that it's not actually sick, that it's evolving rapidly and changing from male to female. And then very quickly after they discover that, like in the same day, really, they discover that Mark Duplass's character is undergoing the same transformation. So he's basically turning into a woman. As you might expect, from there's this like whole kind of, it sparks this conversation about, like, do we attempt to save the human race by trying to have a child? And you know, and then like it brings up the whole, like, well, how are we gonna do this? Because it's just it's two best friends who are, you know, cisgendered heterosexual males. So it brings up that whole kind of conversation about how do they do this? They want to try to do it scientifically, not bring emotion into it. And then there's the green light, like you mentioned earlier. That goes nowhere. The green light is inconsequential. I don't know what it's supposed to represent, honestly. Life, new beginnings, I don't know. And then they have the weather event. They end up having to use the fish tank to seal the dome. And by this point, Mark Duplass is pregnant. And then the movie ends. A very ambiguous ending. We don't know what happens. We don't know what the green light is. We don't know if they survived, how long, if he was able to give birth, you know, what happened there. It just kind of ends. There's this whole through line with this bowling ball and this, like, kind of believing in magic and miracles and such. But yeah, that's pretty much the whole movie in a nutshell right there.
That's it right there. The only other aspect of this, which I think was maybe my main complaint, because it's so broad, is like I mentioned, the political aspects, where Sterling K. Brown's character he's the registered Democrat.
Oh yeah.
and Duplass is he was the president of the United States as a Republican, I guess, and he's the one that caused the world to end.
Yeah.
You know, you get those bits and pieces. So Duplass, of course, is like, oh, let's try and have a kid. And then, of course, Sterling K. Brown's homophobia comes out. And then that puts a rift in their relationship as buddies, because they're no longer buddies for a while.
Yeah.
And just all of that was just so fucking broad and just felt like completely unnecessary. Like it was forced. Like, oh, we got to give it this, like, political angle. And, like, for obviously, to me, I don't know about you, but not for 1 second did I believe Duplass was the president of the United States. I'm sorry.
No, of course not. But I mean, I think that was supposed to be, like, he was so completely inept. But yeah, I mean, no way.
It's like none of that worked. And that was, like, the only, to me, that was, you know, them trying to give this some sort of, like, meaningful dialogue angle, I guess. And none of that worked for me at all. So you take that out and I'm left with, okay, Duplass turns into a woman, gets pregnant, and there's the bowling ball thing. And I'm just like, I'm sorry, that's not enough for me for an hour and 46 minutes. Like, that was just like a huge waste of time.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah, it was.
And like, you build your biosphere, which he knew was coming. Like, we don't know what the turnaround time that he was given here, Sterling K. Brown, like how much time he had to build. But the fact that he has like one little table of plants with a grow light, it's like shit. You couldn't have put like a whole room, just like a whole room,
It
and a
did.
ton of seeds. Like, get some seeds.
They talked about it a little bit here and there about like the time frame and stuff like that, and how like Mark Duplass tasked him. They were already best friends when he became the president, and like he assigned him this project to build this biosphere, and I think that he just wanted him to like just kind of be give him busy work, really. And so yeah, I don't know like what the timeline was. We do know that he was only president for just over a year. So
So it probably did happen quickly. But just like looking at their setup, I'm like, there's no way you guys have survived this long. There's no way.
yeah, because it was years. Like they were surviving for literally years at this point.
Yeah. There's no way. They would have been dead after a year. Come on.
Probably. Yeah, probably. One thing that I'll say is by the end of this year, I imagine I will have completely forgotten about this movie.
100%.
Guaranteed. So, all right, there it is. That's Biosphere.